Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening. Today, I would like to introduce you to Adam Greenberg, who is a radio host at 95.9 Virgin Radio and a well-known professional in Montreal's entertainment industry. Thank you for speaking with me today, Adam.
Of course, man.
You have been in the radio world for how many years now?
It's been 10 years.
Wow, that's incredible. Can you take us back to when you were first starting to think about your career, perhaps to your days as a student at Dawson? Did you always know you wanted to work as a content creator?
Yes, in a sense. Not at Dawson, though. At Dawson, I was taking social with math because everybody instructed me to do that because it would leave the most amount of doors open. And in fact, it kind of didn't leave the one door I wanted to leave open, which was, film and stuff like that. So then when I was deciding to go into university, I wanted to apply to a film program and couldn't because I didn't have a portfolio because I didn't create anything at Dawson. But yeah, at a young age, I knew I wanted to be a creator, an entertainer in some capacity. I didn't know how I would get there and make it there, but here we are. Well, since my years at Dawson.
And I think a lot of students can relate to that while they're in CEGEP or school, not sure exactly where they want to do, where they want to work, and trying to figure it out during the years of school.
That's the theme, right? In your final years of high school and your years at Dawson or whatever CEGEP you're at, and then going into university, the name of the game is figuring it out. And the bottom line is, what you realize at a later age, now I'm into my 30s. So it's been a while since I've been in school, but you learn that while you're trying to figure it out and while you're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together, it may be connecting in a way that you never thought it potentially would. So if you're studying social or you're studying communications, it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll lead towards something specific. I think networking, trying stuff out on your own is ultimately what's going to create a path for you to create a career out of creating.
Definitely. For over 80 years now, radio waves have been blasting through cities around the world. What fascinates you most about the power of radio and made you want to pursue a career in it?
You mentioned that it's 80 years old now. And what excites me and energizes me is that, so many people are podcasting. So many people are putting together their own playlists, and little do they know they're, essentially doing the exact same things that we are. What working for like a company like Virgin Radio or Bell Media has to offer is that they obviously have been doing longer than many people who have been doing the podcast. So they have that sort of like local footprint already. And I think the exciting thing about radio is the immediate aspect of it. We're starting to experience that obviously with Facebook Lives or Instagram Lives and stuff like that. And you've experienced it as well. It's just that excitement of the immediacy and the opportunity, especially, now that we're in a pandemic and there are a lot more people who are potentially a bit more lonely, less company, less socializing, that they could wake up, turn on their radio and feel as though they're hanging out with some friends who will hopefully make them laugh and feel like they're having a good time, because we are having a good time.
And I've experienced that personally, and I could tell you it's a pretty amazing feeling to have.
Amazing.
Throughout its experience, the media industry has undergone ample changes, whether it be with the format in which our content is provided or the personalities that deliver it. Can you describe the significant changes in radio you have observed throughout your career?
I think, I think there was a moment where music had really become the front runner, and it still is in some capacities, and also because I'm on Virgin Radio and it's music based. But I think that at a bit of an earlier time, let's call it like all the way up to the early 2000s, I think radio was very personality driven. I think radio was this escape that, like I said, you went to connect and be friends with that person who is on the radio, where I think that kind of took a back seat, let's call it from 2005 to maybe 2015, 16, 17. And I think now, because of the importance of personality, I'm talking about from a social media standpoint, from a podcast standpoint, from any content creative standpoint, the personality is what really differentiates between one piece of content and another piece of content. We could all be talking about the same thing on the radio, all across Canada, all across North America, but I think it's all about that specific personality and them relaying that message to whoever is listening. And I also think that's part of the importance of radio being local is again, that aspect of like, you feel like, just the fact that you're in the same city as me and the neighborhood that I'm living in. I think there's a real special allure to that, as opposed to, hearing a Howard Stern out of New York or any one of those guys in LA that, you don't necessarily have that really local connection to. So I think that's still, it's coming back to it. And I think that radio really needs to invest in that moving forward.
That's a great point. As one of the hosts of the Virgin Radio Morning Show, you are the first voice thousands of Montrealers hear every morning. How do you ensure persistent positivity and laughter in your daily radio performances?
Man, it's crazy when you put it that way. It's I guess in a sense, every day it just turns into that moment and opportunity to be able to share that moment with so many. And it's such a cool, exciting opportunity. The positivity and the laughter is very natural. We've got an amazing team in the morning and, with Vinny, Shannon, and myself. And it's really authentic, man. Like what's happening in that room is pure laughter and excitement and just good vibes. And I think that, again, like I'll correlate it to a pandemic, but I'll also make it about just, life outside of a pandemic. I think that's what we really needed at this moment. So it's very cool to have that responsibility and that privilege. And I and the team, we don't take it lightly. We really feel that responsibility and really take that challenge head on, and always trying to, push for another laugh and another joke and another, even more serious moment, but end it maybe in a light way and just really try to keep that connection going.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Is there any comments you would like to share with the Dawson Cinema Communications classroom?
I think, I would leave you with this. Again, you're at a point in your life where the name of the game is figuring it out, and your parents are maybe on your back trying to ensure that you're going to be as successful in life as possible, whatever success might look like. I think, if you have a good attitude, I think if you're nice to people, I think if you find something that you love to do and you work really hard on that, I think you'll ultimately find your way. And, I'm speaking to a guy who is, let's call it 13 or 17 years different from me. And you have expressed that same passion for interacting and engaging with people in whatever capacity. And I remember when you came into the studio at Virgin Radio, and it was just get out there and do it and try things and make content and make mistakes and look like a fool, because you're always going to be better than the thing that you produced yesterday, the thing that you videoed or the photo you took or the time you were speaking in front of the camera. You're always going to be better the next day than you were yesterday. So take it day by day and find something you love to do. Be nice to people, and I think it'll all work out.
Thank you so much, Adam Greenberg from Virgin Radio Montreal.